someone still here? As you might have noticed, I had to take a year out. Something happened, then something else happened, then more and more things happened until eventually I kind of lost momentum. It probably doesn't help that I have ADHD and get easily distracted. But hey, at least I've got some new things to talk about in these videos. It starts out pretty badly. In June of last year, my wife went to the doctor for some issues she was having. They did some scans and they found a lump. It was fairly large. No tumour you ever find is going to be small enough. But this one was big and getting bigger. So she was rushed into hospital by late July, had some quite major surgery, removed it. Thankfully, all of that is resolved now. She has a fairly clean bill of health. There's nothing really much to worry about anymore. But it was a bit of a distraction for a while. And after her surgery, it took about 2 months of me being at home looking after her. When I wasn't making videos, I wasn't really in a mood to be making videos. As September gave way to October, my wife went back to work and I went back into training. At the moment, I'm training to be a counsellor. It's similar to what you might call a therapist in America, helping people through traumatic events in their lives. It's a bit of a long-term thing for me. It's going to be at least 2026 before I'm fully qualified. But, I think I'm on the right track and I think it's a worthwhile thing to do. Being a student now, I was really looking forward to December. In this country, if you're a student, December means you get most of the month off and about half of January too, if you're lucky. So, of course, second week of December, I suddenly passed out on the floor after a coughing fit and discovered I had COVID. Now, since I have Amy as well, that wasn't a good combination. COVID lasted, a good week, followed by many weeks of just lying there trying not to do too much because I was exhausted. And that kind of brought me all the way to January, when the course started again. Another thing happened in December as well. About the same time I was just getting over COVID, I was prescribed 30 milligrams of Elvance, or Vyvanse for the Americans in the audience. And this was kind of the point. I was still in the middle of titration. They were going to put my doses up, see how it helps. And to be honest, 20 milligrams wasn't quite hitting the spot. There were still some things that I thought maybe there could be an improvement. So they put me up to 30 milligrams and we decided to see what would happen next. Turns out 30 milligrams was too much for me. Finally on an adult dose, and it turns out I'm not ready for an adult dose of anything. For some reason, I seem to have a bit of a hypersensitivity to stimulants. That is up to, and including, having to give up dark chocolate at that point. The side effects were quite bad. I could just sit there and completely zone out. I had perfect focus, as long as I only had one thing to focus on and no amount of creativity. Obviously, being a fairly creative person and being on a counselling course, which requires a lot of creative thinking, losing my creativity was a very, very bad thing, and I went back down to 20 again. If you come from my previous videos, you might recognise that this isn't the same house. So just as I was getting used to 20 milligrams, just as I thought that finally COVID was giving up its grip on me and I was starting to feel better, just as I thought I had everything under control, the final week of March, we were given notice. 2 months to leave the house, find somewhere new to live, get out and move completely. So this completely uprooted me. I really took quite a while to get all of my stuff packed, get all my stuff unpacked at the other end. And for the last month, I haven't really felt like making videos. Thus, we come to the latest issue. So in the first week of May, I moved house. In the second week of May, I ran out of my medication. My psychiatrist had said that since I was back down to 20 milligrams, since that seemed to be doing the job, he'd discharged me back to my GP. Which was great, except he needed to send some paperwork, which he swore he'd sent. The GP needed to have that paperwork before they could give me my prescription, which they swore they didn't have. So for 2 weeks, back and forth, I'd speak to one, speak to the other. They'd both say, no, we've definitely done our part. You need to talk to the other side. Eventually, after 2 weeks of being unmedicated, I think I'd become so annoying that they decided it was going to be easy to just give me my medication, send a new form, send whatever paperwork they needed again, rather than hire a hitman or something. And now, as you can see, I'm back. I've set up my camera, my lights are up, my mic arm's gone a little floppy, but the microphone's there. I should be in a good position to make some more videos in the coming weeks. But until then, look after yourselves, and I'll see you later.